circumstances and maintaining instability of Bosnia and Herzegovina. What does this mean for us?
Well, NATO has a very strong cooperation with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, NATO has a very strong cooperation with Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have actually most of our partnership tools in the hands of our Bosnia and Herzegovina friends. We have been helping them using our presence here through the headquarters Sarajevo in training, in education, civil response, disaster response, and of course in shaping the armed forces and the security institutions of your country. So I believe we've been instrumental in helping the resilience of Bosnia and Herzegovina and in preparing your own capacities. At the same time, we have supported and we continue to support logistically the mission EUFOR Althea, which has as a mandate to maintain the safe and security environment of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we will continue to do so. We are very committed with that mission. So overall, I would say that NATO is present in Bosnia and Herzegovina as much as Bosnia and Herzegovina wants, and we will continue to do that. Well, the war in Ukraine, the Russia's war in Ukraine that started on February 24th has changed dramatically the international environment and the security stability in Europe. And NATO, of course, has reacted to that. We have, of course, taken many decisions since then in order to protect and shield the alliance, in order to prevent a conflict that is local, is terrible, is awful, but is local. A conflict that was initiated and that Russia is the only one to be blamed for, in order to prevent that conflict from becoming global. And at the same time, we consider that there are some consequences in that instability that is being provoked by the war. We consider that some partners are more at risk of certain levels of interference by Russia. That's the case, for instance, of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that's the case of the region of the Western Balkans, a region that we consider of strategic importance. It's been always like that. We have actually a very strong cooperation in the region for decades. We have our biggest operation today, K4, with almost 4,000 soldiers. We have a strong presence here in Sarajevo. Also, we have an office in Belgrade. We have many allies that are part of the Western Balkans. So for us, it's a very important region, and we consider that there is some level of instability that might be a consequence of the war that is going on in Ukraine, of Russia's war in Ukraine, and we are trying, in order to prevent that instability, to get further, to step up our cooperation, and that is why one of the messages I'm bringing here to your authorities. I'm going to have meetings with your foreign minister, with your defense minister, with the chairman of the presidency, and in order to talk on ways to step up our cooperation with your country. I think the level of cooperation that Bosnia and Herzegovina wants to have with NATO depends on Bosnia and Herzegovina. We've been very clear on that, and open door policy is about that. Is about 100% is about the will of the nation to advance at its own rhythm in the Euro-Atlantic path. Of course, there are requirements that have to be fulfilled. There are reforms that Bosnia and Herzegovina has to take over. Those are referenced in the reform program, and Bosnia and Herzegovina has not presented a reform program 2021 and 2022. We would have expected for Bosnia and Herzegovina to do that, but this is your own decision, and as I said, we will adapt to the pace that you want to have. In terms of what we can provide, I said it before, I think the cooperation we have with Bosnia and Herzegovina is actually quite satisfactory. I think we've been instrumental in bringing stability. I think we have been instrumental in unifying your state-level institutions, in bringing support from the international community, in advancing the practical and the political cooperation, and all of that brings stability and brings, at the end, security and prosperity to your country.